I was doing a little boomerang of my own here. Apologies. Boomerangs are dope. I don't know. What's up, Bubby? I was just boomeranging myself. Boomerang's really fresh. I want to welcome everybody again. Thank everybody who's joining us live. Big shout outs to Bubby Scherzer, who's up in Northern Cali holding it down. And the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you flocking every Saturday to get the good words, the Bible, the dictionary, some drink. As you can tell, I'm getting louder. I'm really pressing the limits of my license here. I expect this to be shut down any moment. I'm going to bring it down just a little. We're here for coffee. Coffee snob, this says. I mean, I guess. If you saw what was going on my page, my personal page, you noticed that we're drinking a little Color Coffee Roasters out of Eagle, Colorado. Big ups to Color Coffee Roasters. Looking to try more and more and more and more of your coffee. And then, of course, on Coffee with Big Brown Dad, we round out the episode with a discussion of home and family life issues related to home and family. I've noticed if you're really insecure, I'm sure we're all insecure in some way or another, do not go Facebook Live, because essentially I'm looking into a mirror for this 17 minutes. And then when I watch the episode again, because I do, I notice like you get like some real mouth hanging or dangling. So I'm going to try my best to work on my posture. I'm going to try my best to make sure my mouth doesn't do some weird shit. Some of that's beyond my control. It's 5 It's the godly hour of 5:15 Saturday morning. And let's launch into this. As you know, we offer a randomized blessing from either the dictionary or the Bible. 2 books you likely haven't been using enough. I actually use the Bible. Well, let me start with the dictionary. I use the dictionary incessantly as a youth. Because my grandmother used to make me look up all kinds of words whenever I had questions. And then we'd write the word on a piece of paper, the definition, she'd stick it on the wall. And then when she'd come across other words that she thought we should know, she'd write them on a piece of paper, write the definition, and stick it on the wall. And that's what's up. And that's how I developed a love for words. Here, this is the Bible. I studied the Bible pretty seriously for about 10 years. And then, really seriously got a black belt in it. And we're going to do a blessing, randomized. We're going to start with the Bible. This is for Bobby Scherzer. Gary Hartenberg, my man, from Texas, from Detroit, in Houston, holding it down. This blessing is for Bubby, Liz. I met Liz 1994. Liz, this is Luke chapter 2. In those days, Kaiser Augustus, or Caesar, Kaiser Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was the governor of Syria. Wow, that's dope. Quirinius. Name your kid Quirinius if you really want props for naming your child a biblical name. Quirinius, automatic. I will render coin unto thee if you name your child Quirinius. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloth and placed him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. No room for them in the inn. Ooh. Obviously, this is really as familiar as a biblical story gets. This is Joseph and Mary cutting out. And this actually doesn't have as much detail as some of the other gospels. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people." Oh boy, you could really unpack that, and I encourage you to do so. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men on whom his favor rests. Suddenly a great company of heavenly hosts appeared with the angels. Praise. So this went down. This was the first burning man. This was a rave in the desert. This was like light up the sky situation. Rave on, Liz. That's all I'm gonna do. Like, listen, it'd be audacious for me to do too much interpreting. All right, here we go. It's Saturday morning. It's early, and Gary Hartenberg is going to get a blessing from the Bible. I will warn you, Gary, that this could very well come from the thesaurus, or worse yet, the medical dictionary portion of this, because this here was a $70 book in 1991. Shout out Jim Sullivan, Harvey College Upward Bound program. This was a gift or something you'd win by participating in. I came up on this, but you needed everything. You needed everything, and if you're going to get a dictionary, might as well get a thesaurus and shit. Might as well get your ailment diagnosed as well. Gary, I just opened up the page here. I opened to opening. So that's meta. This is really dark paper. It hasn't aged well. It's really colored. Some of my logos back on. Opening. Hole. Foramen. Puncture. Oh, these are going to be synonyms here. We're in the thesaurus section. I think you're going to like this. Foramen. Never heard that word or seen it. Perforation. Peep, pigeonhole, eye, needle, eyelet, slot, opening, aperture. Hiation. H-I-A-T-I-O-N. Hiation. I just needed the smallest hiation for me to get in there, and and I got in there. Occitancy. O-S-C-I-T-A-N-C-Y. Occitancy. Never seen that. Occitancy. Maybe, oh yeah, from oscillate. I mean, obviously it shares some of that. Dehiscence. D-E-H-I-S-C-E-N-C-E. Dehiscence. Patefaction. Pendiculation. Damn. Pendiculation. Now, if you're using pendiculation, that's just too much. It's taking too long. You want to go with something short like chasm. I'll even take embrasure. Dormer. There's more and more. This is a really powerful book, as you guys all know. And the power of both these books come from similar places. It lies in your ability to unpack the meaning, or at least your interest and your curiosity. Some of you guys will note that I've dressed up for the affair. Count yourself blessed, because I just at the last second put on the jacket. You were going to be looking at something a little more NC-17 had I not. So we have you got it, Gary. Now let's go ahead, and if you want that third blessing, go ahead and identify yourself. What we want to do right now is thank one of our sponsors, Fun Valley Food Tours. As you know, Fun Valley Food Tours offers food tours in Claremont, the village, and then in Eagle Rock. And if you're interested, you go to the Fun Valley Food Tour Facebook page. Book yourself a tour for Mother's Day or Father's Day. Also wanted to talk a little bit about coffee before we launched into what I'm afraid is a code red issue in Claremont Unified School District. And just to give you a little tease, I'm holding a letter here that warns of a serious medical concern that needs to be addressed. And we're going to read this letter, and trust me, you're not going to believe the contents of this. Trust me, you will not believe this is real. Before we do that, I just wanted to share a little bit of information. Got to sneak out the back now. Get to the gym. Do what you gotta do, Gary. Come back, and you're gonna wanna know about this. These are serious, ethical, public policy concerns to be addressed. If I was just doing a little research, just wanted to share a little information on coffee and coffee consumption in the U.S. As it turns out, any guys have any idea of how many, what percentage of U.S. citizens drink coffee? Johnny, throw a guess out there. What percentage of Americans drink coffee every day? 20%? Higher. 40? Come on. Higher. 41? Higher. 42? Higher. 43? Higher. 44? Higher. 87. You've been doing your research. You've definitely been doing, oh no, sorry. You've been, I'm looking at two different numbers here. That's a little much. 87 is a little high. 80 is a little high. As it turns out, it's in the 66%. But that research was done in like 2011. That's what I was able to find at a quick perusal. I'm surprised there wasn't more recent information available when I searched. At least immediately available, but then who knows, because Google's doing that thing where like if you pay Google, they'll put your results up first. So you have to get down to 1 or 2 pages before you actually start seeing organic search results. So if you're searching on Google, that's a little knowledge that you got from the guy in the bow tie in the slingshot. So 66% of Americans drink coffee. What percent do you think drink at home versus get their coffee outside of the home? So what percent do you think drink their coffee at home? Like half of Americans drink their coffee at home? More than half? Well, as it turns out, 82% of Americans drink their coffee at home. So that those 80 numbers were right, because most people who do drink their coffee at home. Now, if you drink coffee, how much coffee do you drink? Turns out 60% of the 66% of Americans who drink coffee drink 1 cup of coffee. 20% drink 2 cups. 10% drink 3 cups. And another 10% drink 4 cups of coffee a day. Just bringing them coffee scientifics, man. What else did I figure here? Oh, here's a little interesting factoid. Fewer lower income folks drink coffee than higher income folks. But if you're a lower income folk who drinks coffee, you drink more coffee than the higher income folk. Chew on that a little bit, a little nuance. Lastly, before we get to the nitty gritty in the city, lastly, any guess on which part of the world drinks the most coffee? We'll just go ahead and call it a country. Iceland? No. Paraguay? No. Papua New Guinea? Close. Eritrea? Now you're talking. I mean, at least that's in the area of coffee production. Kazakhstan? I don't even think that's an actual. You might want to check the Farmer's Almanac on that one. I don't think that's actually a country. Huh? Think of another country. Hold on. Equatorial Guinea? Nope. France. Okay, now we're talking. France is not up there, though. That's a good guess. Colombia is not up there either. Those are 2 good guesses, as you think of France as having a cafe culture and Colombia is producing a lot of coffee, but as you might suspect, as is the case in most of the developing world, some parts of the world produce the stuff and other parts of the world consume it. We're on the consumption side. Case in point. As it turns out, there's a certain section in Europe, because we don't want to call the EU a country. We might not even be able to call the EU for much longer. But the certain section of the EU, which actually probably encompasses France, now that I think about it, consumes the most coffee. But the US is close behind, followed by Brazil, Japan, and then Russia. I didn't know Russians drink coffee like that. But all this to say, a lot more people drink coffee than I expected. I didn't expect 7 out of 10 US adults to be drinking coffee. That's crazy to me. Also, reeks of opportunity. Because, as you know, I bought a coffee roasting drum. That's going to be live and in action very soon here. Now, to the final portion of this episode where we address home and family life. And what I'm looking at here is a letter from the Claremont, might have to beep this out, from the beep beep Unified School District, warning parents and guardians. Was sent out this week. This was sent out this week. Your child, this is real deal, Holyfield. To parents and guardians, your child may have been exposed to pinworms at school. Pinworms. I'm thinking, pinworms. Okay, beats lice, I guess. Until we move on to the explanatory paragraph. Pinworms are tiny white worms which infest the intestines. While the infected person sleeps, female pinworms lay thousands of eggs in the folds of skin surrounding the anus. While most people infected with pinworms have no symptoms, some people experience anal itching and restless sleep. Pinworm eggs can survive for 2 to 3 weeks on surfaces. You can become infected with pinworms if you consume contaminated food or drink, or if you touch a contaminated surface and then touch your mouth. Pinworm infection occurs most frequently in school-aged children, and the microscopic eggs are easily spread from child to child, especially if children scratch their bottoms or neglect to wash their hands after using the bathroom or before eating. So many questions. Because here the euphemisms here are outstanding because they went from anus to bottoms in the same paragraph. How to check for pinworms. How to check for pinworms. Inspect your child's anus and now I'm talking low. Inspect your child's anus and bed sheets for tiny white worms after sleeping. Oh, what it doesn't say and what it ought to have said. I mean, the commentary is pending, but I should do not read this to your children. This should have said do not read this to your children. Your children do not need to know this is going on. It's the same shit. Like, if you're not talking nuclear Holocaust, don't talk pinworms. They're in the same category. You don't need to be explain that to a second grader. Can you guys send along the curriculum that would help us explain what exactly is going on here? I was holding off on commentary. I just wanted to get through the hilarity of this shit. But, well, if you're wondering how you can do that, you're just going to direct a bright light directly on the anus after spreading the buttocks. The anus and the buttocks. We had bottoms, anus, buttocks. I don't know if this is bottoms, buttocks. The lawyers must have had their hand at this. Check every night for 1 week and re-examine in several weeks. If you thought kids weren't reading their directions when doing the homework, I can tell you right now, this has not happened to the 700 kids. It takes from 15 to 28 days for eggs to mature. If your child does have pinworms, please call your child's doctor. Treatment involves oral drugs that kill the pinworms. For best results, the entire family may need to be treated at the same time. Okay. Now, when my wife was reading this to me, I was stymied. I was stuck. I was stymied. I was stupefied. Straight stupefied. Methods to help prevent the spread of pinworm eggs include wash in the morning. Because pinworms lay their eggs at night, washing the anal area in the morning can help reduce the number of pinworm eggs on your body. Showering may help avoid possible recontamination in bath water. Bath water. Launder in hot water. Don't scratch. Wash your hands. Just going down. Last night was a father and daughter dance. I had a blast. I was concerned that we'd be on high alert there, that they might be doing some, I don't know what was going to be going on at the dance, what we'd have to do to gain admission. in the wake of the heightened alert. But I'm happy to say Maya and I went, we danced, we boogied, we had a blast. And for proof, go ahead and check out the Big Brown Dad Facebook page. And we want to thank you guys for joining the replay, for checking out Big Brown Dad. We have a lot of exciting things brewing, and we're glad you joined us. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2.